Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. This is Fishman vlog number 43, and I'd like to start off today's video by thanking John for becoming a channel supporter. John, Fred, thank you very much. That's very much appreciated, and it does help me get more equipment, more materials, and make more of these videos. So again, thank you very much for that. And I'm starting off this video with this clip because I didn't want you guys to forget that I am still working on the ammonia test for filters, and currently I am in the process of going through the planter filter setup. This is the original setup I did with Hornwort. I have run through that one, and I am into other plants as well now, and I am getting data, and there's an awful lot of interesting stuff coming, but unfortunately to make a video for it, it does require a fair amount of time, and it'll be probably another little while before I can tell you what's going on with this. And then I'll get on to other filters and more filters. There is actually quite a few changes I've done for this, but I'm going to save that for that video. The other thing I want to mention before I get on to the rest of the video is I have done the draw for the 14K sub giveaway, and that will be near the end of the video as well, so stay tuned for that too. So for updates, this is doing really well. As you can see, the pothos now is sending roots down into the aquarium, and everything else is doing quite well here, except the basil is getting splashed on a little too much near the bottom. You can see some of the leaves there are starting to show some signs of rot, and I need to get that out of there and put it into a pot. But other than that, it is doing very well. This is also doing really well. This is the cutback I did, Vallisneria cutback as grass, and you can see it's all growing back perfectly fine. I am in the process now of pulling this out, putting it in another aquarium because I need this tank for some other stuff. But you know, it's doing really well, and it is a valid way of doing that. I don't know if I would actually do that ongoing, but it is definitely something you can do if you want to. Now I wanted to show you the clip of this. This is the red Luigia, and I had pruned all of it back, and you can see it's really bunching up and doing well again. And you can see that the new clippings are also doing quite well, and I'm really happy about that because I am going to need a bunch of new plants for some clients, and this is going fast enough to actually make that worthwhile. I saw this and I thought I had to just do a little clip of it. This is the spider plant, and it is obviously doing really well, and you can see it is flowering. The flowers are kind of cute. I like them. They don't last long though. They're maybe a day and a half, 2 days, something like that. And then they just curl up again. But it is a lovely little flower, and it is a sign that that plant is doing really quite well. Now, if you remember, a little over a week ago, I planted these into pots, and you can see the fern is already sending out 2 new leaves, which is kind of surprising, but I'm very happy about that. This is doing quite well. All these planters I really like. There's nothing I can say against any of them. All the plants are doing quite well, as you can see. Pothos is doing fine. I mean, that's not a surprise. The leaves on this plant, and thank you guys for letting me know what the name is. I couldn't really tell you off the top of my head right now, but that was much appreciated. And as you can see, all of them are doing really well, and that is that's good because I really like that look of having plants on top of the aquarium. It is another dimension to all this that I really like, and I do need to get those the little baby spiders hanging down. I need to get them into some pots, as well as that aluminum plant. It is also doing really well, but needs to get into a pot of its own. Now this is doing too well, I think. It needs to have a lot more room. I keep cutting it back, but as you can see, it keeps sending out really long leaves, and those leaves just run into things and get bunched up, and it needs more space. I think this is going to go into the pond once I get that all set up, and then I'm going to pick shorter plants for this. Now, if you guys remember, speaking of the pond, the indoor pond build, I have frosted acrylic, unfortunately, as that big piece of cast acrylic, and I can't really afford to get more acrylic, but I had a couple suggestions, and I want to try them out here. This is an offcut of that. It was too long for the build, and someone suggested that if I put the frosted side towards the water, this is frosted side out by the way at the moment, that the water itself will help negate a lot of that frosted look. So I thought I'd give it a try here. This is now the frosted side down, and I gotta wipe the water off first. And it does actually improve the view a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And it is a step actually in the right direction. I got an awful lot of great suggestions for this, by the way. This is still a little too blurry probably for most people for their concept of looking through this. But what I did is I spent a good chunk of time, and I think I polished it 3 times. I did a video on how to polish acrylic. If you guys have the patience to go look for that, it's in my playlist somewhere. And I polished this, and it is quite labor intensive to do so because, as I mentioned before, this is cast acrylic. It is not the regular extruded I use, and it is a lot harder, but it does polish. There is looking through the acrylic before I polished it, and as I move it up, you can see it does improve it quite a bit. That is 3 polishes. Not enough yet, but I think this is probably the right direction to go in. Another gentleman had posted that what I could do is cut windows in this and then put clear acrylic over that spot, and that is another option as well, but I don't think I'm going to go that route simply because of structural integrity. I could probably get around it, but I don't really want to go that route. So here you go. This is 3 polishes. And again, this is with the frosted side into the water. So you can see it is actually quite a bit clearer now. It's I'm going to do a side-by-side here in a few minutes. This is not good enough yet, I don't think, but it is a step in the right direction, and I think this is the way I'm going to go. If I have enough of the polishing material and enough patience, I am going to try and get this as clear as I can. Now what I'm going to do, because the polishing substance has a bit of a anti-welding kind of thing to it. I have tried welding after polishing before, and it doesn't really quite weld properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to masking tape off probably about somewhere between 4 and 6 inches on either side, like the ends, and not polish them at all. I don't think it's going to be much of a difference because this is 4 feet long. And then I'm going to polish the center section, and again, try and not get anything anywhere near any of the edges that I'll be welding. And we'll see what we can do. I'm going to try and do that over the next week or so. And because I am having that big build coming up, and I do have to get to that as well. So we'll see how it goes. But you can see here, side-by-side comparison, 3 polishes, and it is quite a bit better. Unfortunately, all this means that the pond's going to be delayed. It's going to take a little while to get this done, but I'd rather put a little bit of extra effort here and get that put together properly the first time. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to show you too much in the way of woodworking, but this is the Acrylic Workstation, and the top is pretty much done now. I've got all the dowels put in and sanded down. One of them did blow out. I think that patch that they put on the wood weakened it a little bit, and it was easy enough just to put another one in there, but there's going to be 3 spots there. Once I put on the boiled linseed oil, this is going to look perfectly fine anyway, and it is just a workstation, so its looks aren't as important. But those of you who are interested in the woodworking, I am thinking, and I probably will put together a second channel and do my building stuff over there and just show you guys little bits and pieces here. And this shadowy image is that one fry, that one angel fry that managed to jump from the grow tank into this scud and shrimp culture. And every time I get near the tank to take either a picture or try to catch him out of there, he just swims to the back where I can't see him. I will hopefully eventually get him out of there and put him in here. And of course, I do need to separate these guys out. I'm in the process now of getting that tank ready for it and get these guys where they can grow out some more. So we're getting there at the end of the video, and before I forget, I did the draw for the 14K subs giveaway, and Fred, you finally won one. You've been persistent, and finally your name came up, and I will get a hold of you, and we'll get that filter out to you. So congratulations, and thank you very much for your persistence, and obviously for all your great support. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.